dead center for Rio.
The great sportsman in archery.
20-year-old Bridger Deaton wins the gold medal. Julien Deloche. Rick van der Ven of the Netherlands is your gold medalist.
And able to hold his arms and that bow very high in the air, pose for his golden moment.
There comes a smile.
Excel Sights. Leading technology, proven results.
After starting the season in Shanghai, making the trek to Turkey, and then dropping in on Poland, the tour has headed to South America for this make-it-or-break-it stop on the World Cup circuit. Colombia has become one of the favorite places on the planet for world archery. Everyone receiving a warm welcome in Medellin's temperate climate just north of the equator. Teams from Cuba, Costa Rica, Peru, Uruguay, and Guatemala, seldom seen the rest of the summer, all coming to Colombia, giving this event a true Latin American flavor. But the biggest storyline for many in the best of the business, this is their last shot at securing a spot for the World Cup finals in Mexico City come October. Hola, ¿qué tal? Wherever you happen to be watching, bienvenidos, ni hao, bonjour, merhaba, konnichiwa, privyet, shalom, guten tag, dzień dobry, buongiorno, willkommen, annyeonghaseyo, good day, mates, and welcome to the final regular season stop on the Outdoor World Cup circuit, stretching from spring through summer and into the fall, with the finals in Mexico City come next month. Along with the USA's Crystal Gauvin, I'm Carl Arky, high in the Aruba Valley in the Andes Mountains and live from El Parque Norte here in Medellin, the land of eternal spring, although, Crystal, it kind of feels like eternal summer today and this weekend.
Yes, it does. Definitely warm here.
So you see the weather, the temperatures there, you see the beautiful scenery, the hillside, great surrounding, great setting for archery out here as we get set for the compound competition, mixed team this afternoon, as well as the individual matches. As the day heats up, how does that affect the archers?
I think it really depends on the archer and where they're coming from. I know personally the heat really affects me. I come from a colder part of the U.S. and I've always just been affected by the heat in Poland. I had to shoot all 3 matches and I really struggled in the heat, but you have a lot of people here from South American countries, from warmer climates, and they're loving this weather.
So it is a compound Sunday here. Of course, the compound archers accommodating the recurve archers who competed yesterday and now are headed over to Rio for the Olympic test event, which begins on Monday. There you see the brackets and the stepladder format used to reach today's medal matches here today. Now, the mixed team format will feature 2 athletes, 1 male and 1 female archer per country. Competition plays out over 4 ends, 2 arrows per competitor in each of those ends. So each team will take a total of 16 shots to decide the winner. Once again, total points determine the final outcome. Coming in to stage 4, Denmark was on top of the standings with 36 points, Colombia with 24, Slovenia in 3rd place with 18 points, Turkey was 4th with 16, Germany also with 14 points in 5th place, then Iran and South Africa tied for 6th place with 12 points, and the USA and the Netherlands in 8th place with 10 points. The mixed team bronze medal match will feature the top-seeded team from the USA and this team from India, which came out of qualifications ranked 10th, Trisha Deb and Sarvish Parikh. Trisha Deb, 22 years old, ranked 36th in the world, and Sarvish Parikh, who competed this morning in the team medal matches. Been a good week for India. They defeated Denmark by 1, beat Colombia by 3 in the quarterfinals, and lost to Slovenia by 1. So India will take on the top-seeded team from the USA, a team that defeated Turkey by 3 points in the quarterfinals, then lost by just 1 to Italy in the semifinals. So the USA, with Rio Wild and Lexi Keller teaming up. Lexi, of course, on the women's team this morning that came from behind to win a bronze medal, and Rio Wild on the men's team that captured the gold medal. Lexi Keller on your left from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and Rio Wild, the Honey Badger out of Pocatello, Idaho, and Cindy in the coach's box. That's a pretty good view. You were there this morning.
Yeah, it was different to be in the coach's box.
How'd you like that? You'd rather be shooting, yeah.
It was tough. I didn't realize how nervous I'd be in the coach's box, much more nervous than shooting.
You've got to come up with those pearls of wisdom.
Yes, yeah.
So here we go as we start the afternoon session, the final session here at stage 4 of the 2015 Outdoor World Cup circuit. Lexi Keller, good look at the 19-year-old who's ranked 67th in the world, averaging just around 8.3 shots, or rather 3 points per arrow. And Lexi coming off a good performance this morning. How much does it help to have been out on the field already, Crystal?
It's great. You get a feel for it, and it really sets you at ease for knowing the wind and just the conditions in general.
Look pretty comfortable on that shot. Starts off with the 10. Good opening for the United States as Rio Wild, who will be going for 3 medals today here at stage 4. Has a gold already in men's team competition. Going for a bronze here in mixed team. And will shoot for a bronze in the individual match with Stefan Hansen later on today. Now Team India and Sarvesh Parikh, who was on the team that won a bronze medal this morning, defeating Venezuela, and he continues to shoot strong. So Parikh has been out here before. This is the first shot of the day by Trisha Deb, the 22-year-old.
So interesting, you see everybody who's been out there today shot a 10, and the one person who hasn't shot the 9.
Kind of a feeling out period. Testing the waters, so to speak. Lexi Keller's just been consistent all day long. A 19-year-old working with the 41-year-old Rio Wild. Almost dead center. So the USA will take this end. Even if India shoots 2 10s, they'll come up 1 point short. Arky puts it in the center. And 2 9s for Trisha Deb. Again, first time out on the field.
Makes a big difference.
Now, is it my imagination, as I watch Rio Wild and as I have over the years, does he lean back a little bit?
Oh,
a little bit more than most?
He leans back quite a bit. It's become somewhat of a joke sometimes. You see new archers trying to copy the Rio technique, and they lean real far. And he lost a lot of weight last year in the off season, and he came back, and it actually looked really funny, and it looked more exaggerated, the lean, because he had lost so much weight.
So much weight, yeah. Yes, I've noticed and watched him today. I could tell he really does lean back. You watch his upper body and his head, his shoulders are back. Different style of shooting, but it's effective.
It works.
It works, no question about that. The United States off to a 2-point lead, leading 40-38 after the opening end. If you're just joining us, Crystal Gauvin of the United States, who is headed to the World Cup Finals in Mexico City next month. By the way, congratulations on that.
Thank you, thank you. Huge excitement from me. First year on the World Cup circuit, and to make it my first year was really exciting.
And it's got to be a big relief. I know it was a trying week down here in Colombia for you, and so you were a little bit on edge, I'm sure.
Yeah, essentially it came down to I had to have other people win or lose matches, so it was out of my hands, and that's tough.
So you could feel for Katuna Lorig and her situation yesterday.
Yes. Yep.
As she had to watch Lei Chen Ying of Chinese Taipei. If Lei Chen Ying had lost her match, Katuna would have gone. It didn't work out that way.
Nope.
Tough when it's in the hands of somebody else. The fate, your fate. So down by 2, India takes the first shot at the second end. And that's a surprise.
It's going to be tough to come back from that.
Parikh in the red zone. And here's the young lady whose first World Cup event was 2 years ago at Stage 1 in Shanghai, where she won a team bronze medal there.
She found the 10 ring.
So Trisha Deb settling in. But obviously an opportunity for the United States to increase that lead, and they do.
Way to go. Looking good.
Lexi shot really well in all the team events leading off. You can always count on her to open with a strong shot. So
That's where she's most comfortable?
I don't know where she's most comfortable, but I know the team is very comfortable with her in that position.
Inside. 10 or 10 inside, low.
So back-to-back 10s by Keller and Wild. The USA already up by 5.
Moving 9.
And India can ill afford to be shooting 9s at this point, even though it's early in the match still.
These are short matches, so you don't have a lot of time to come back if you make a mistake.
It's an interesting point. Would you like to see them go an extra end?
To me, I'd rather shoot as many arrows as possible. I think it really separates people the longer you shoot. The shorter matches, you see a lot of upsets, which is great for TV, but not necessarily for the archers.
Lexi lets another one fly.
You're good. Still good.
So Lexi Keller who lives on the family farm in Wisconsin. Got her off the farm. She's traveling the world and teaming up with Rio Wild right now to take a commanding lead here in the bronze medal match in mixed team competition.
And I believe the world record in this is only 1 point down, so right now they're sitting on pace for that.
We could see it happen right here. And just like that, India down by 8. Very, very quickly. It can happen that quickly. So far, the United States has not missed on a single shot. They've all been 10s. Meanwhile, India with a 7 and 8, a couple of 9s thrown in there. Only 2 10s for India. And the USA up by 8 as they wait for the arrows to be retrieved. 80-72 in favor of the Americans. Rio Wild, of course, getting set to head to the World Cup finals in Mexico City. Rio won the World Cup title in Mexico in 2006. Be interesting to see if he can go back to Mexico and do it again 9 years later.
Yeah, I believe Brady was in the stands. He said he was too young, he wasn't competing, but he was actually there. So
Brady saw it happen.
Yeah, so they were.
So it actually did happen.
Yes, yeah.
We have a witness. Good crowd on hand here in El Parque Norte on a.
Yeah, it's been great to see all the kids around, getting pictures, autographs from the archers. It's probably been the most attended event in terms of fans of all the World Cups this year.
The local organizing committee doing a great job again here in Medellin. As Parik steps up to the shooting line. Had a 7 on his first shot of the second end.
That looked like a much better shot.
Held it a little bit longer, but it paid off. Reminds me of what Martin Damsbo said this morning. A 10 is always worth waiting for.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot in team round, in the women's team. Take that extra half a second.
Sometimes you have to wait for the wind to die down. Great look of determination on the face of Lexi Keller, who almost got it in there, and that's the first shot that has not been in the 10 ring for the U.S. here in this bronze medal match. The Leaning Tower of Pocatello.
Tell me as a new nickname.
Yeah, we'll give him one. Somehow I think that honey badger is going to stick. So India is starting to pick up steam right now, but it may be too little too late after falling behind by 8 midway through the match. Trisha Deb. Right on target. Averaging 9.4 points per arrow. And 8 wins already in her brief career. Just outside, it looked like.
They're calling it a 10, but yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Judges will take a close look at that. USA hoping it's a 10. And there's no doubt about that.
There you go.
So Rio Lexi now with a 7-point edge. At least we think that's what it is right now. Rio looking down range to try to find out. Lexi Keller a little bit anxious about that.
Second one's in. I'm saying the second one's in, the first one's out.
Luckily for her, I don't think that arrow is going to make a difference in this match. So.
Look how close.
A little bit more tap on the target to the
Touching?
Oh, I'm not a good arrow caller. I'm the first to admit that
You'll shoot them. You just don't want to call them, huh?
Exactly. I gladly will keep score when we have to decide amongst our bail. I always say the one thing I don't want to be is that arrow caller. Too much pressure.
Too much pressure. You'd rather shoot the final shot in a big match, huh?
Yes, any day.
And have to shoot a 10.
Yep.
Do you think about that when you are in that situation? You know, you've got to have a 10, but I would imagine if you think about it too much, you're going to freeze up.
That's what a lot of people say, but I actually find I shoot better under pressure. I find when I don't need to shoot a 10, I don't know if I get lazy or what it is, but I tend to just shoot a 9 then or whatever. But when I need that shot, for example, in shoot-offs, I seem to – I've only lost one shoot-off, and it was with an X. So,
so when you need a home run, you hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think they changed that to a 9. They did change it to a 9. And the lead is now at 6, 118 to 112.
But with one end, it's going to be real tough on India.
One would think so. Although anything can happen. You've seen it, I've seen it.
Yep.
The gentleman who joined me this morning, Martin Damsbo, was on his way to a medal in Wrocław last month, and all of a sudden, something went wrong with his release and changed the whole complexion of the match.
Yep. I can relate. I had to miss myself in qualification, and that took me out of team round and everything, so.
In the blink of an eye. But if everything goes to form, follows form, the USA should only be 4 shots away from the mixed team bronze medal. India still battling, though.
Moving 9.
Yeah, they really needed a 10 there.
From a scoring standpoint as well as a confidence boost.
Moving 9.
Yeah, now the U.S. can just step up and say, just shoot relaxed shots, and they don't even need to hit 10s. They could shoot straight 9s and be fine.
Lexi, who won a team silver medal in Shanghai at stage 1 this year and a team bronze medal in Poland last month, already has a bronze medal in her pocket from this morning, looking for her second medal of the day.
And that, her arrow is perfect, exactly what I was saying. You know, we all kind of loosen up when we know we have the lead like that. We just try not to do anything stupid, and that was her worst arrow of the match.
To the right.
So the lead is 7 with just 2 arrows to go. Parik, pinpoint precision.
He'll be happy to finish with that arrow.
Kind of like when you're playing golf. You take that last shot. If it's a good one, doesn't matter
Even if you lose.
the other 125 that you
Right.
shot that day.
Right. And
So two good, strong shots to finish it off for India. Lexi Keller bearing down.
Solid. It's a 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team USA, a 5 required to win.
So Rio Wild for the win.
let's see another X here, I'm predicting. He's been shooting a lot of X's this week.
Ah, should have bet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first medal of the afternoon goes
I'd
to
never bet against Rio Wild.
Team USA.
So big bear hug from the Honey Badger. Lexi Keller, Rio Wild.
So that's 2 bronze medals for her today so far. Rio, bronze and gold. So.
And he's got a chance for another bronze coming up in just a little while. But the old hand, the old veteran Rio Wild with the newcomer Lexi Keller. Big smiles. And they should be big smiles as the USA comes out and wins in workmanlike fashion, 156 to 160. The USA starting off the match, the first 8 arrows all in the 10 ring. Let off the gas pedal a little bit, but able to hang on and hold on and win the match, win the bronze medal. As the USA continues to.
I'm surprised to see the Italian women's team still in the stands. They're suffering. They're really sick. I don't know if you talked about that this morning, but tough for them out here.
You could even see it this morning. They just didn't look like they had quite the energy necessary.
We saw them before the match, and they just did not look good. You always feel for competitors in that situation.
And you always want to get somebody who's on top of their game.
Exactly.
Who's at their best. And I think that's true in any sport. It's true in archery. The Italians having a bit of the bug, the stomach flu, and in fact, from what I was told, had they been forced to compete yesterday, they might have had to forfeit.
Yes, I heard the same thing, and that would have been really sad.
That would have been sad. We're glad they were able to come out and compete here today, and we're glad to be able to bring you now the mixed team gold medal match. An intriguing matchup in the mixed team gold medal match between Slovenia and Italy. This is Slovenia out of the tunnel first. Slovenia qualifying third this week here in Medellin, Colombia. This team 5 up on Ecuador, then beat Mexico by 1 in the quarterfinals and topped India by 1 in the semifinals. And 2 archers who have shot together consistently since 2011. Excuse me, this is Italy. My mistake. This is the Italian team, which took a tiebreaker from the Dominican Republic, beat Spain by 5 in the quarterfinals, and the USA by 1 in the semis. Viviana Spano and Federico Pagnoni, excuse me. My apologies. They both wear similar uniforms, so now we've got the Slovenian team.
Yeah, the Slovenia team has been in the finals quite a bit this year in the mixed team. They have a real strong team. They practice together.
They all wear blue and white. So let's meet the two who have competed together since 2011. Toya Chernay on the left and Dejan Sitar on the right. These two came close to winning bronze medals in Shanghai and Antalya, and they lost in the bronze medal match at both of those stages. So here they'll come away with a medal. The question is, will it be gold or will it be silver?
I think a lot's going to come down to how the Italian girl's feeling and whether she's able to come out and shoot solid shots, or if being sick is going to affect her again.
And again, my apologies to the Italian team, misidentifying them. They qualified 4th this week here in Medellin. And as we mentioned, took a tiebreaker from the Dominican Republic, beat Spain by 5 in the quarters, and the USA by 1 in the semifinals. So we'll see how Viviana Spano is feeling, as well as Federico Pagnoni. Good luck at Toya Chernay, along with Dejan Sitar. And Sitar, the 35-year-old who was ranked first in the world back in 2003, steps up to shoot first.
Solid shot.
His first time on the field. Comes up with the 10, and now Toya Chernay, 22 years old, ranked 6th in the world. Another strong shot.
Both a little low, so interesting to see where their second shots hit.
Viviana Spano, who did collect a silver medal this morning in women's team competition. Going for her second medal of the day. Looks strong. Looks like she has a little bounce in her step.
Yeah, she definitely looks better than what she looked this morning when I saw her.
Empanadas for lunch. I don't know about you, but those empanadas, they're mighty good.
I haven't been able to have any yet. We've been eating the food for the athletes all week, so. Yeah,
the empanadas, I wouldn't, yeah. Fried food, they're for the guys like me.
Yes.
3 in a row for Slovenia. And Chernay outside the 10 ring, still in the yellow circles. So 2 10s right here, and Italy takes the lead. Easy for me to say, though.
Slide right back up.
Now they need a 10 to tie. Pagnoni, 27 years old, on the Italian team that picked up a bronze medal in Poland last month, almost dead center. Perfecto. Federico Pagnoni, and the 2 teams are tied at 39 all after that opening set. How much can you pick up watching the other archers?
In terms of conditions, or?
Conditions, or just technique or styles, the way that they approach.
I tend to not pay attention to any of that, and I just get out there and shoot my own arrows. The biggest thing I pay attention to would be conditions. If it's real windy and you see the other teams all hitting left or right or whatever, that can give you an advantage if they start the match, which typically is an advantage to start the match, but sometimes it can actually be a disadvantage. But beyond that, I'm not really paying attention to what they're doing.
And especially when you are in the middle of a match. I've noticed you're not paying any attention at all to what the other archers are doing or saying.
No, and I've been told this week that I have a game face, that I'm very serious, which I didn't realize, but
Crystal Gauvin's got her game face on here, even though she's just broadcasting. I guarantee you, folks. Crystal Gauvin of the United States. We're so glad to have her joining us here on Archery TV. Glad you're joining us as well. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches, wherever in the world and whatever time it might be. Where you're watching, we're glad you've logged on to Archery TV, where we've got live shot-by-shot coverage. Have all weekend and will in Mexico City at the World Cup Finals coming up next month. Young crowd, you're right, Crystal. It is a good young crowd. Second set about to begin. Excuse me, second end about to begin.
Moving 9.
And Sitar stabs the 9 ring.
let's see if Toya can come back here and shoot a 10 and give them some confidence back.
Moving 9.
Drops another one on the 9 ring.
She's not going to be happy with that.
Now Viviana Spano. Picked up a team silver medal at stage 3 in Wrocław back in 2014.
Moving 9.
She held a long time on that shot.
Fortunate to keep it in the 9 ring.
I think so.
Sergio coaching. As Pagnoni pulls the trigger.
So no one's taking advantage right now.
The veteran Sitar in his 14th year of international competition. Trying to grab that bull by the horns. Take control. As Toya locks in on that target 50 meters away and finds it.
Interesting, they're both shooting very consistent in this match. I know Toya had said in China, one of them had shot pretty poorly and the other shot really well, and then in their other bronze medal match it was reversed. So it's good to see them both being consistent with one another.
Beautifully done. Viviana Spano, Italy. trying to keep pace with Slovenia. And they do. And so we're still tied after 2 ends at 77 all. I've always been interested in the dynamics and the chemistry on any team, but it's really interesting in archery. I mean, especially in mixed team. I mean, you've got the 2 archers there. If one's doing well, one's not. How does that work? How does that go? I mean, it's a relationship.
Yeah, and it's tough because you say you win or lose as a team, but when you're the person that's struggling, you feel responsible. You hope your partner's going to pick you up, and I know for me that's happened a lot. I've struggled in the team round, and I've had lucky to have strong teammates, but you feel bad about it, and it's a very tough situation.
You want to carry your weight.
Right.
There's no
right.
question about that. Then if you're doing well and the other person isn't doing so well, what's that like? Do you ever get a little...
No, for me, actually, it's almost again, it goes back to I feel like I shoot better under pressure, so I feel like I have to pick up the team, and I usually shoot better under those circumstances, and I never get upset or mad at
or
someone.
get down on somebody else.
Because we all have those days.
Sure.
I mean,
and it's not going to help.
No, definitely not.
It's not as though anybody who steps up to the line in any of these events wants to shoot a bad shot.
Mm-hmm. And we've all worked hard to get to where we are and put in the time. And
you look at a team like Slovenia, they've been together shooting since 2011. What kind of an advantage would they have having worked together so long together?
I think it's a great advantage. You just learn to feed off each other, and I know the U.S. has always been able to fill in people, but I think there's something to be said about having that consistency of knowing who you're shooting with and feeling comfortable with the rotation and
timing,
strengths, and again coming down knowing I shoot a 9, I know he's going to shoot a 10 now, or vice versa.
Having that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Sitar starts off with a 9.
Moving 9.
So a pair of 9s.
Same as last end, open up with 2 9s. Let's see if Italy can capitalize this time.
Spano at full draw, averaging 9.3 points per arrow.
Moving 9.
And again, nobody able to break away. Not yet, at least. Can Pagnoni put his team ahead? Yes. A match like this, it could come down to 1 point.
Definitely. $10 here would really help.
The gold medalist from 2001 at the World Championships in Beijing. Ooh,
Nope.
very close. Very, very close.
Have to shout out to Toya with her fancy nails. She just did them this week.
She must have known she was going to make the finals and be on TV, and there'd be close-up shots.
Yep.
These are things we have to think about.
It is.
Yes.
I got yelled at the first time I was on TV without my nails done.
And the guys don't have to worry a thing
No,
about that,
you
do
have it
they?
easy.
Yeah. So Toya with a 10 on the final shot of that end for Slovenia. Meanwhile, Spano.
Great close-up of her bubble. Interesting to see how people handle the wind, whether they bubble or aim off.
Ooh. Almost.
So, all tied up again.
Almost in the 8-ring. So we are tied up once again at 114 all. One of the tightest matches we've seen today, and one of the tightest matches we've seen all weekend as you look at Toya Chernay and Dejan Sitor. Toya, a good athlete, and you're a great athlete too. I mean, you've participated in so many different sports during the course of your life and your career. I believe she was a gymnast at one point, wasn't she?
I think so. I can't remember, but I know she was very big into one sport, and she's actually going to school to be, I guess in the U.S. it would be like a PE teacher. I don't know what it's called in other countries, but basically doing sports for kids.
A physical fitness instructor. How many sports have you been in? Let's see, swimming, cycling, crew,
Softball, track, volleyball, water polo.
Now that's, yes, you and I, both water polo players, yeah. People
Yeah.
ever ask you how those horses tread water that long?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
How do they keep those ponies under the water treading water? You get that question
Yes.
every once in a while.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience. I played on a club team in college, but it was all boys and me. And
Ooh,
some of the schools we played against, Ohio State, for example, had very large Russian men.
yes. The Eastern European water polo players,
A little
Hungary,
different
yeah.
than my size.
It's a different game. Dayan Sitar is playing a great game right now.
So this final end, it's really who can handle the pressure better going in tied.
Or will it go to a shoot-off? Toya tacks on another 10.
Yeah, we've already seen 2 shoot-offs and 2 bronze matches this weekend at least. I don't know if there's been more, but both U.S. women in the bronze matches yesterday and today went to shoot-offs.
Started the day with shoot-offs, both days. Let's see what Italy can do. Spano, low in the 9 ring. So Slovenia with a bit of an advantage right now. Magnoni having to come through with a 10.
That was a really quick shot. I wasn't sure where that was going to end up.
So Sitar, who won a mixed team bronze medal at stage 3 in Antalya last year.
Swimming, 9.
You could tell by his face he wasn't happy with that when it broke.
Now Toya Chernay.
Swimming, 9.
Chernay with a 9. So Slovenia, which lost in the bronze medal matches in Shanghai stage 1, Antalya stage 2, look to be in good position to take the gold medal here, but Italy with a chance to steal it away from them. Spano with a big shot.
A 10 to win.
So a 10 will get the job done. Federico Pagnoni won a team bronze medal in Medellin last year, but gets a gold medal this year.
What a way to cap it off for Team Italy.
How about that for Italy?
Finishing off in dramatic style.
And that's just pure joy right there.
Tough loss again for Slovenia. They're going to be disappointed with that.
A 1-point loss is Italy. Coming down the stretch, comes up with the big shots in the clutch to win it by 153 to 152. And you've got to feel glad for the Italian team, as you mentioned already, Crystal. Had that stomach virus, whatever it was that was going around, and I'm sure they were a little bit dehydrated yesterday.
Yeah, I heard they had about 105-degree temperature, just extremely high temperatures, couldn't get out of bed, so.
So for them to be able to come out here and do this today, that's great for Italy. A gutty performance by the Italians in a match that was nip and tuck all the way. It was tied at 39 after the first end, still tied at 77 after the third end, tied at 114 after the third end, and Italy wins the fourth end and wins the match by 1 solitary single point. Not much margin for error in this sport.
No. Especially again in these quick matches, you know, each person shooting only 8 arrows. You really just don't have room for any bad shots.
And there we see the windsock here, and it's starting to pick up a little bit. Late afternoon here in Medellin after 3 o'clock. here in Colombia.
Definitely cooling things off a bit too. The sun's getting behind some clouds, getting some breeze. So it'll be interesting to see those that have been out previously if they hit any differently as the sun changes.
Yesterday in the recurve competition, that sun was a little bit of a factor as it was setting over the western mountainside. It was right in the face of the archers. They had to contend with that along with some stiffer breezes. And the breeze is kind of coming and going right now. A little bit of a tailwind, I would say. As we get set to reset right now. All the medal matches are the team medal matches in the books. And now we get set for the 4 final matches of the day, the individual matches. And in individual match play, there's 5 ends per match, 3 arrows per archer in each end. The total points for those 15 arrows determine the winner. If we're tied after 5 ends, the match will be decided by a 1 arrow shoot-off. So we're all set now for the women's bronze medal match. And in this match, it'll be Argentina and Mexico being featured. This is Maria Eugenia Gonzalez Brioso. And from this point going forward, she'll be known as Maria Brioso. Maria Brioso from Argentina beat Laura Longo in the 1/8 round in a tiebreaker. Topped Joanna Leal in the quarterfinals and lost to Sarah Lopez by 2. And there are the numbers on Maria, 38 years old, ranked 90th in the world. This will be her first meeting head-to-head with her competitor from Mexico. Ana Cristina Juarez.
Great to see more women. She's 38, still staying in the sport. We've seen it on the men's side, but we're just starting to see more women stick with the sport longer, which is great.
So the 38-year-old from Argentina, who comes from Cordoba, will face the 23-year-old from Mexico, Ana Cristina Juarez. Ana Cristina with a 1-point win over Linda Ochoa, her teammate in the 1/8 round. A 3-point win in the quarterfinals, lost by 1 in the semis to Pierce Page, whom we will see in just a few moments in the gold medal match. Looking back over the rest of the season in Shanghai at stage 1, it was Stephanie Soray Salinas of Mexico, who you see in the coach's box right there, who won the bronze medal, pulled away to a 4-point win. Then on Conialty Beach in Antalya, Stephanie Salinas beat Laura Longo to win her second bronze medal. And it was Linda Ochoa by 1 point in Wrocław at stage 3. Linda winning on the last shot a 10 on the last shot with only 1 second to go on the clock.
Yeah, that was against me.
I'm sorry. I wasn't going to bring that up.
No, I
was going to leave your name out of that.
No. I was joking with Anna that she didn't have to show up for this match because it was a given that Mexico was going to win the bronze. They've won at every stage so far this year.
Between Stephanie Soray Salinas and Linda Ochoa, Crystal Gauvin's right. They have won all 3 bronze medals. So now Maria Brioso, who got into the sport in 1997 but did not compete internationally till 2012. Took her a while,
but she
perseverance paid off, yeah.
So both of these archers haven't been out here yet today, I don't think so. Oh wait, no, Mexico, sorry. She was out here.
Shooting in the team competition. And Brioso breaks the ice. She looks like she's been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Dirección y ubicación. Firme al frente. Muy bien. Perfecto.
So 2 10s and a 9 for Brioso to start off the match. So a strong start as she takes a 2-point lead, 29-27. Part of the beauty of coming down here to Medellin is seeing archers from countries that normally we don't get a chance to see when we're in Europe or in Asia.
Yeah, definitely. She's one of the few archers in the women's division here that I didn't know on a personal basis. I try to talk to everyone and get to know the other women, and she's one of the few that I haven't got a chance. So seeing fresh faces for me is always fun. Even though she's been in the sport obviously way longer than I have.
Long time. And as we said, it took her a long time to get out on the international stage. She's got one win in match play in her career, and she's won the only shoot-off she's been in. Was 17th in the individual match play last year here in Medellin. Now finds herself in the bronze medal match against Ana Cristina Juarez of Mexico.
And she shot really well against Sarah. I think she lost 146 to 148, something like that. So
lost just by 2 points to Sarah Lopez. So trailing 29-27. Ana Cristina Juarez to take the first shot of the second end.
looks like she might not be letting the bow settle quite down, and I noticed her front stabilizer moving a lot before that shot went off.
Muy bien. Perfecto. Dame un clic arriba. Dame un clic arriba.
Tu ritmo, Ana.
Maria Brioso
Fuerte.
Espera la señal.
moving ahead by 3, and it could be 4 if she comes up with another 10.
Ubicación. Vamos.
So much talent all around the world.
Okay.
Bonita
Carga.
flecha.
Lead remains at 3.
Tranquila, tranquila. Firme.
Fuerte. Bien, yes.
Juarez,
She finally found it.
Con calma. Dirección.
Excelente.
Ubicación. Vamos. Firme al frente. Muy bien. Muy bien. Muy bien.
caught the line.
Look at
So
relief
again,
there.
yeah, 2 10s and a 9.
Solo respetar tu tiempo. Perfecto. Bien.
So Maria Brioso looking for her first World Cup medal. In deep conversation with her coach. Much like Crystal Gauvin this morning with the women's team in the bronze medal match. You're going to stick with shooting. Not ready for coaching yet, huh?
Yeah, I do some coaching on the side, but yeah, much prefer the shooting. Much less pressure. When you're coaching, you can't control the outcome at all, and
No.
I don't like that. I like to have control.
It's even better when you have kids and you're watching from the stands. Talk about nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, there is no flash photography allowed on the premises. Thank you.
Maria Brioso looking cool, looking calm, looking confident.
Ana Cristina Juarez of Mexico will shoot first.
In what is arguably the biggest match that she has shot in her career. The 38-year-old from Cordoba in Argentina. Facing a young woman from Monterrey, Mexico, Ana Cristina Juarez.
Carga y espera.
Fuerte y segura, Ana.
Trying to battle back from a 3-point deficit.
Fuerte a la izquierda. Tu ritmo. Ritmo.
8-8.
Vamos.
And that will be tough to overcome.
Y ubicación. Vamos. Firme al frente.
Tu ritmo, Ana. Trabájala bonita. Tú sabes cómo.
Muy bien. Perfecto.
Especially when she's shooting
Yeah,
10s.
very tough.
Tu ritmo.
Leads up to 5 now.
A la izquierda. Tu ritmo.
Espera.
Better effort that time for Ana Cristina.
Dirección. Ubicación. Firme al frente. Vamos.
Trabájala bonita, Ana.
9.
Solo tiempo. No te preocupes.
Tu ritmo.
Very interesting grip she has on the bow. If you notice, it's very, very open. Her fingers stretched out. Very unique.
Ubicación. Centro a las 12. Firme al frente. Vamos.
She just kind of
Muy bien.
laughs. That's all you can do when you have an end like that. Laugh and move on.
Move on. Play forward.
as Briozzo getting closer and closer to that coveted bronze medal in game securing his
So the lead grows from 3 up to 5. It's 86-81 right now. As Maria Briozzo, with all that experience, all that time shooting, been shooting for, well, she started in 1997. What's that, 18 years now?
As long as some of the kids here shooting have, when they were born.
Born, yeah. Shooting as long as they've been alive. So Ana Cristina Juarez has her work cut out for her, trailing by 5 now with only 2 ends left to go. 6 more arrows all together. And she's going to need some help from Maria Briozzo. And take care of business herself. Ana Cristina started shooting in 2004, made her debut on the international stage 4 years later. As a bronze medalist at this year's Mexican Grand Prix, where she also won a team silver. Picked up a bronze medal at this year's Arizona Cup. So she's got the credentials.
And you can see the frustration on her face now, just 9 after 9 after 9. You reach the point where, what am I doing? What do I do?
Finally, relief.
Yeah.
But there's no celebration.
No. Does gain her back a point, but.
Airecito a la izquierda, ligeramente. Fuerte. Bien. Esa es.
More like it. 2 10s and a 9.
Dirección, ubicación.
But Briozzo may very well match that. Doesn't though, so it's down to a 4-point lead.
So with 3 arrows, it's going to be tough. But again, as we've seen, anything can happen.
Trying to hang loose, stay loose. Stephanie Saray Salinas offering what advice she can for Ana Cristina Juarez. Who knows where the camera is? How distracting is all that?
I don't even notice it personally.
Really? You're able to focus and
The
just
only
block all
time
that out?
last year in Poland, the camera actually crossed over in line where our arrow was when Christy Collin was shooting in our team round, and Eric and I noticed that immediately and yelled at the camera guy to get that out of our lane. That was very distracting.
You go right ahead and yell at those guys.
But-
we yell at them too.
But normally, you don't even notice any of it.
The crew from Hit the Roof does a great job. Trying to very subtly go about their business and capture all these pictures. Provide the coverage of every shot here on the World Cup Tour. So down by 4, trailing 114 to 110. Ana Cristina Juarez of Mexico. Battling back.
And that's what she needed. She had to, pretty much had to open with a 10 there.
X marks the spot for Ana Cristina Juarez. And maybe not quite as pretty of a shot, but
Still scores the same.
it's all the same. And another 10. Too little, too late.
I think
In
so.
all likelihood, yes.
Muy bien.
Down to 3 now, though.
Bonita flecha, Ana. Trabaja tu ritmo.
Espera.
Bien.
Well, any chance probably just went out the window right there.
Ahí está. Sí, pero está.
So Maria Briozzo for the win, and she got it.
All she needed.
That is all she needed. That's all she wrote. And Maria Briozzo, an emotional moment for her. And you can see the tears flowing right there.
That's great to see, though. Someone coming up that you don't see at all the stages come and win a match like that. It's awesome.
It's a mixture of joy, relief, and I'm sure thinking of all the 18 years that she has put into the sport to get to this point, the pinnacle of her career right here. What a great moment. Fantastic moment for Maria Eugenia Gonzalez Brioso, and her coach too. A very, very proud moment for this woman here in Medellin, Colombia. And nobody really knows or understands what goes into this better than the archers themselves. How much work it takes, how long it takes to get to this point. I think it's going to take a little while for this to really, really sink in.
Yes, I remember my first win at a World Cup, and you definitely, you don't even realize for days what's going on.
Fantastic moment. One of the more touching moments, actually the most touching moment I think we've seen all weekend long here in Medellin. There have been a lot of great moments in this tremendous city. Beautiful shot of the landscape behind El Parque Norte as you get to see more of this city, which just grows and climbs and creeps up the mountainside. So the women's bronze medal match in the books. Maria Eugenia Gonzalez Brioso of Argentina, the victor, and gets the bronze medal. Our congratulations to her as we now get set for the women's gold medal match. USA and Colombia. A lot of anticipation here at El Parque Norte for this women's gold medal match. And here's Pierce Page of the United States shooting for the gold medal today. Pierce Page was on that team this morning that came from behind to win the bronze medal against Mexico. So she's been out on the field before. Pierce, number 3 after the qualifying on Wednesday, then went on and in eliminations defeated Ana Mendoza by 5 in the quarterfinals and beat Ana Cristina Juarez by 1 point in the semifinals. 20 years old and ranked 63rd in the world. 6-1 in match play so far this year. She did very well at the World Youth Championships in Yankton, South Dakota. But she'll have to contend with the crowd, and the crowd firmly behind this young lady, the 20-year-old Sarah Lopez, ranked number 1 in the world, and a source of great pride for the entire country of Colombia. It's a tough situation for Pierce Page.
Yeah, Paige knows. I mean, all the women out here know that Sarah's on a different level right now, and you have to bring your best to have a chance against her.
So there's a good look at Sarah Lopez, the 20-year-old, number 1 in the world. An 8-point win over Yashim Bostan in the 1/8 round, an 11-point win over Natalia Avdieva in the quarterfinals, and then a 2-point win in the semis to get to this gold medal match. Of course, Sarah going to the World Cup finals in Mexico City next month, but wants to go in on a high note, get on a roll, build some more momentum. Of course, she picked up some momentum this morning as Colombia was able to win the women's gold team medal match. Now with the sun starting to set in that western sky, that sun's going to be right in the eyes and in the face of these two archers. And it's also putting the targets a little bit more into the shadows now.
So we'll see. I know both of these archers shoot with clarifiers, so we'll see if that affects either. I guess not.
I think she can see clearly, yes. If there was any question, I think that answered it. Sets the bar high for Pierce Page.
There you go.
So Pierce, the 20-year-old, ranked 63rd in the world from Red Bluff, Paige Pierce, excuse me, from Red Bluff, California.
Yeah, she actually just recently got engaged, bought a house, so she's been pretty busy.
I'd say so.
9.
Paige puts another one in the 9 ring. A little disappointment. You can see right there. But hanging in there with Sarah Lopez.
9.
Yeah, the tough thing for Paige is she doesn't aim in the middle, even when it's calm. She aims anywhere up, can be a 5 high, 6 low. She picks a spot and sights in for that, and so it can be tough moving from a practice range to a finals venue for someone like that.
And I would imagine here in Medellin, it's especially tough moving from that practice field. It's a good distance away, and we've mentioned this before in previous sessions. The practice field, you're shooting from south to north. Here you're shooting from east to west. A little bit of a difference.
Yeah, I think all the World Cup stages this year, the practice venue was set up a different direction, so it definitely plays with you.
See, we just want to test you. See how good you guys really are. Can Crystal Gauvin adjust? Let's find out. Good look at the hardware and the equipment being used here. This gold medal match. Sarah Lopez soaking up the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on her to win this, home crowd and all that.
I think that's a good point, a valid point. Sometimes there is more pressure when you're on your home turf.
She wants to win in front of her family, you know, as anyone would, but it's definitely an added level for her. That
if you were shooting in Ohio or Connecticut, a little bit more pressure?
Definitely.
28-27, Lopez with a 1-point lead over Paige Pierce.
Nice.
Finds the range.
Do that some
So
more.
let's see how Sarah answers.
She usually has one.
Yep.
She's a full draw for a long time.
That was a little scary.
Fortunately, the wind's, though, dying down. Sarah Lopez shoots and posts a 9.
So we're all tied up.
Paige Pierce tied up at 47 with the #1 archer in the world, and unfortunately comes up with an 8 out in the red zone.
Yeah, that's tough against Sarah.
Even tougher after that 10.
Yep, she'll make you pay for it, that's for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, on target #1, upping her game for a perfect score of 29.
So after it was tied momentarily at 47 all, an 8 by Paige Pierce opens the door for Sarah Lopez, and Sarah puts up another 10 and leads it by 2 now, 57-55. Sarah Lopez having another great outdoor season. Was the bronze medalist in Copenhagen. And that came after she won 2 team medals at the Youth Championships in Yankton, South Dakota. She also won a pair of team gold medals in Antalya this summer and won the individual gold medal at Stage 1 in Shanghai to follow up on her gold medal in Lausanne last September in Switzerland at the World Cup finals. Other than that, you know.
She hasn't really done much.
Not much, no, no.
You're going to shoot first. All right, tear him up.
Paige Pierce, a team gold medal last year here in Medellin. Team bronze medal this morning in Medellin. Still looks confident, though. The difference in this match right now is just that one shot, that one arrow.
Yep. Which very well could be what the difference is at the end.
Sure. But it ain't over till it's over. I love cliches.
There it is. Right there.
I love
So,
10s.
Good for her to come back after that 8 and shoot a 10 opening with that. Definitely helps her confidence.
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien.
Sarah Lopez. Maintaining the 2-point edge.
Good one, Paige.
Back and forth we go.
Igualita, entrada.
Like 9 seconds to spare on the
Muy bien, muy bien.
They're putting on a show now.
And it is going to be tough to play catch up. But you got to try. Look at that. 3 straight 10s by Paige Pierce.
No, your timing. Your timing is different because those are going off.
Perfecto.
You know, when she released that shot, she had a kind of an expression of almost surprise. And I thought, where's that going to end up?
Right in the 10 ring.
Right in the 10 ring. So Sarah surprises herself and maintains the 2-point edge, 87 to 85.
Thing with Paige, I've shot against her a lot at national tournaments, and she closes with a 30. I can't tell you how many times.
So she gets better as the match goes on?
Definitely, definitely.
Strong archer, 20 years old, out of Red Bluff, California, in the northern part of the state. Had 15 match wins coming in to Colombia this weekend. Ranked 63rd in the world. That'll improve after this performance here in South America.
Yeah, with the way the rankings in the U.S. are done, she didn't get to be on our World Cup team till now because it's a ranking basically a year behind. Otherwise, she would have been. She was in our top 3 all year. Her, Jamie, and myself. So it'll be great to see. She'll be on the team for next year and be good.
All right, Paige, have fun.
We'll shoot first on target number 2.
So I think this end is really the important make or break end for both of these archers.
There's still time, but it's starting to run out. Paige Pierce eyes it,
Nice.
tries it, and buys it.
That's perfect timing, Paige.
Took her time.
Segura, segura. Bien, bien, bien.
And Sarah Lopez flinches just a little bit.
So gained a point back.
It's a 1-point match right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And Paige applying the pressure.
Buena, buena, muy bien.
Sarah back in the 10 ring.
And again, she didn't look that happy with that shot, so.
Oh, just a
That
little
one
tall.
drifts just a little bit high.
That timing is perfect. Okay, really
Buen enfoque, buen enfoque. Siga la línea. Bien, bien, bien.
Caught it. And the lead goes back to 2.
Like I said, what Sarah's done this year is pretty amazing. I think I've always said since getting into archery, I don't understand why women's scores are consistently lower than the men's, and she's proven that they don't have to be. She beat all the men, I think, in Turkey in qualification and in Denmark, maybe.
Has set world records.
She raised the world record for women. I think started at 7:04. Erica held the record, and it's now at a 7:13. So 9 points. It's crazy.
And there you get the super close-up look at that arrow,
You got a center X
which is
and a
counted
low.
as a 10,
They're not low on them.
and increases the lead up to 2 with only 3 arrows to go. Sarah Lopez burst onto the scene about 2 years ago in Antalya on Coney Alti Beach. Won 2 gold medals that day at stage 2, and has been one of the top in the world, if not the top archer in women's compound since then. Paige Pierce, though, keeping a good attitude.
Making her work for it, at least.
Make her work for it. Exactly.
All right, Paige, let's bring it home.
So Paige Pierce down by 2 to shoot first to start the 5th end. And you could hear the coach saying 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Sarah with a quicker release. Still up by 2 with 2 to go. And that may seal her fate.
Yeah, you just can't afford that right now.
Lopez going for the jugular.
See her taking a deep breath.
And giving thanks.
Yep.
What could be the final shot of the match.
5
and the day for Paige Pierce.
She drilled it.
Beautiful shot.
That was a spider. There's nothing left but 4 little spider paws.
And
she'll make sure that Sarah Lopez has to shoot a great shot here to win it. She does. It's a 10. That's all she needs. And she wins by 3 on home turf in her native land on home soil. And again, a great emotional moment for Sarah Lopez.
See her trying to fight back the tears.
What could feel better than that? A golden moment for the Golden Girl, Sarah Lopez, ranked #1 in the world and heading to the World Cup finals in Mexico City on a very high note.
2 gold medals for her today. I know she was disappointed about mixed team going out early, but she'll be happy to have the 2.
So Sarah Lopez delivering and giving this crowd what they came to see here in El Parque Norte in Medellin, Colombia. You know, when Sarah got here this morning about 8 o'clock, I know you were here about that time too, she looked like she might have been a little bit under the weather, but she cowboyed up.
Yeah, I know she was talking about some pain she was having. I'm not sure what was painful, but she said, I'm going to fight through it, and that's exactly what she did.
So a great match and a great show actually put on by Paige Pierce and Sarah Lopez. Both of them going at it tooth and nail. It was a close match all the way through. Sarah took a 1-point lead after the first end, bumped that lead up to 2, 57-55 after the first 6 arrows, still led by 2 after 3 ends. That lead was reduced down to 1 point at 96-95 in the 4th end, but Sarah would pull back ahead by 2 heading into the 5th end, and she winds up winning by 3. So a great performance by Sarah Lopez, but let's not overlook the job done by Paige Pierce. I thought she was outstanding.
Yeah, she shot really well all week. First World Cup of the year. Like I said, she's been strong in the U.S. all year, and it's nice to see her walk away with a medal.
So Paige Pierce will get the silver. Of course, Sarah Lopez the gold, and Maria Brioso, in case you're just joining us, from Argentina, captured the bronze medal in a very emotional match for her, an emotional victory for her. As you take a look at those targets, they're now a little bit in the shadows right now. You can see those flags on top. So the wind, always a factor. As we get set for the gentlemen. After stage 3 in Poland, Mike Schlosser was atop the World Cup standings, followed by Abhishek Verma, Martin Damsbo 3rd, Rio Wild 4th, Demir Elmagachla from Turkey was 5th, Steve Anderson 6th, and Sebastian Peno was 7th. And here comes Stefan Hansen. As we get set for the men's bronze medal match, Stefan Hansen, 9th after qualifying this week. Here in Medellin, Colombia, the world champion from Copenhagen earlier this summer. He knows what it's like to win in his home country. He experienced the same thing that Sarah Lopez did just moments ago. Stefan Hansen in eliminations this week took a tiebreaker from Mike Schlosser in the 1/8 round. In fact, I think they had to go to a second round in the shootout.
Yep.
So that was a terrific win for him over a great archer, Mike Schlosser. Then Stefan won his quarterfinals match by 4 before losing in the semifinals by just 1 point. And there is Martin Damsbo, who's gone head-to-head himself many times with the Honey Badger Rio Wild, who's back out there looking for his 3rd medal of the day. He's number 10 coming out of qualifying this week. And Rio Wild out of Pocatello, Idaho, 4th in the World Cup standings, heading to Colombia. Had himself a good week, winning his 1/8 shoot-off with Daniel Munoz, then finished 3 up on Dominique Genet in the quarterfinals and dropped the semifinal match by 1 point. So the 41-year-old Rio Wild of the United States, 3rd in the World Cup standings, actually 4th in the World Cup standings, I believe, and 3rd in the world standings, with Mel Nichols in the coaching box.
And this is the match a lot of people were wanting to see in Denmark, so we're all getting to see it now. Should be a great match.
We just had to wait a couple of weeks and travel a couple of thousand miles to do it. Go through a few elimination rounds.
Yep.
It all works out. Along with Crystal Gauvin of the United States, I'm Carl Arky, and we do hope you're enjoying our live shot-by-shot coverage in living color here in Medellin, Colombia, as Stefan Hansen, 20 years old now, goes up against Rio Wild. Rio, who just won a bronze medal just a little while ago in the mixed team event, starts off strong. As does Stefan Hansen.
Just like the first one.
God flow. 15 lane.
Yep. Good shot. In at 8 o'clock. Good job.
It's what you expect from Rio Wild and what we've come to expect from Stefan Hansen.
Legs. Leg was footed in. God flow.
Ten, 9. Yep.
3 in a row for a guy who is capable at any time of running the table.
Oh, definitely.
So can Stefan Hansen.
The interesting thing about Stefan is this year he's made mixed team finals, I think, every World Cup, but this is his first individual of the year. So he's qualified well, but hasn't managed to make it through that tough men's bracket.
Just wondering if that world championship title he won in Copenhagen makes up for that. It might. Good look at the arrows in the quiver. Stefan Hansen and Rio Wild. Good look at Rio. Had a team silver medal that he picked up in Poland about a month ago in Wrocław. Started off the season strong in Antalya with a team gold medal and an individual bronze medal on the beach in Antalya, Turkey.
And Rio's another one that's had some tough luck in matchups, losing with a 149, I think, in China right after he set the world record. And
you shoot a 149, you expect to win, don't you?
Yes, yep.
Most of the time.
Yep.
Of course, what a great track record, what a great career he's had. Rio Wild, the bronze medalist at last year's World Cup Finals in Lausanne, Switzerland. In 2012, almost unbeatable, won 9 medals that season. Before that, he was the silver medalist at Istanbul's World Cup Finals in 2011. Won a world title in 2009 in Korea. The World Cup Finals, 2006 in Mexico. Had a great career, and it's not over yet. A very young and now svelte Rio Wild at the age of 41. And I give him a lot of credit for that. At this point in his career, taking a good look at himself and saying, you know what, I need to get in better shape.
Yeah, and he said ultimately it comes down to his family. He wants to be around for his family.
It's a good reason.
Yep.
Yeah. It is good to be alive. And here in Medellin, Colombia, where Stefan Hansen trails by 1, 30-29, and may trail by 2 after firing up that 9.
And he's not happy with that.
Wouldn't expect him to be. 4 in a row now for Rio. Hansen comes back and tacks on a 10.
That caught the line.
I think it caught the line.
Yeah. Line 3 o'clock, outside of it.
Stol på teknikken.
That'll get close scrutiny after this end is finished.
He threw his arm on that one.
Yeah, very strange shot. That arrow seemed to wobble to the target.
Yeah.
6 in a row, it would appear.
And that is a perfect score.
So Rio Wild, apparently perfect so far.
2 in a row for Rio Wild. 60 points.
He's had a pair of X's, 6 10s to start off this match. Going for his 3rd medal of the day. Had a men's team gold medal this morning. And look just how close that is. This is a remarkable sport. It's not a game of inches. No. It's less than that. Stefan talking it over with Martin Damsbo, who's been up against Rio many times himself. Rio now with a 3-point lead, 60 to 57.
And that's going to be tough for Hansen to come back and win this against Rio. Any of these men, if you give the other one a 3-point lead.
They're generally not that generous.
No.
And they know how to close it out. So just waiting for the arrows to come back now. Rio Wild with over 60 medals in his career. Right now, nothing more important to him than the medal he's after right now. Hansen lining up his shot.
The shots just don't look that clean. He looks like he's really fighting.
Right down Main Street.
Right there.
7 in a row for Rio. Excuse me. 8 in a row for Rio.
Good shot.
10.
Your shot, nice and strong.
So a better end for Stefan Hansen. And Rio will try to make it 9 in a row right now.
10, 9, 8.
Oh, just outside the 10 ring.
Good round.
It's kind of like watching a no-hitter in baseball in the United States or anywhere they play baseball. You hold your breath. You wonder how long they can go. Can they get it done?
And he knew it. You saw right there. He pushed it a little.
So Rio, who's working with a new release, had a string of 8 10s in a row. Finally saw it come to an end on his 9th shot of the match, and Stefan not real thrilled at the moment. Trailing by 3, 89-86. Of course, I would imagine there's heightened expectations after you win a world championship. Everybody expects you to come out and win everything.
Yeah, but again, I think in that men's division is so tough. There's so many top shooters that people know that it's tough to be at the top consistently in that division.
So on any given day, any given Sunday, and on this Sunday, he's trailing by 3 against Rio Wild. Lexi Keller, who did a great job today up in the stands now, playing the part of the spectator. She teamed up with Rio Wild to win that bronze medal in the mixed team competition. So here comes Stefan Hansen, who also won a team bronze medal at the World Championships in Copenhagen. Then followed that up with a team and a mixed team gold medal in Wrocław back in August.
There you go.
Back in the groove. Rio Wild with another 10. And Hansen looking stronger, a little bit more determined now.
You notice his shots are going off a lot better, quicker.
More in a rhythm.
Looks like it.
Good shot.
Yeah, I always, in these matches, it's always interesting to see the archers that shoot quickly and archers that shoot slower. When you have the 20 seconds, you're losing time between your arrows if you're shooting against a fast shooter, or you're gaining time against a slow shooter. So I know Erica Jones always said she hated shooting against me in this match play situation because I was so quick she didn't have time to reset.
To regroup and regather and get ready to go.
And I felt the opposite way against her because I had to wait. It messed up my rhythm.
So the moral of the story is you two should not shoot against each other. That's it.
So it's always interesting to see. These two are very similar. You have Rio is a much slower shot, and Stefan nice and quick when he's shooting well.
By the way, best wishes to Erica, who is taking this summer off, expecting a baby.
She had the baby.
Oh, she had the baby already.
Yep.
All right.
Second week in July, I think.
Congratulations.
So 2 months. I think she just posted 2-month pictures.
I'm always the last to know about these things.
Very cute.
Congratulations to she and her husband on the birth of their baby and settling into parenthood. Sure, not a lot of nights that are not broken up by some feedings.
Yes, I think she told Paige she's only sleeping about 3 hours a night right now. So.
That's all right. One day they'll come back and they'll pay for the cab ride here in Medellin. Maybe even buy you dinner someday. So Rio up 119 to 116. And he is on a roll right now. Only 1-9 throughout the match for Rio Wild, and it was just barely off the line. Almost caught that 10 ring. And Hansen's not shooting poorly.
No. Had a bit of a rough start, but he's got it together and been shooting well since.
Yep, good shot. High X.
But again, in this division, you don't have room for a slow start.
Trying to reel in Rio Wild, but tough to catch a guy who won't be caught.
10, 9. Yep, good shot.
He looked a little bit tentative about that, or a little bit anxious about it when he released it.
Yeah.
Works out all right.
Okay, finish this off with your 10. Like you always do.
So 3 straight 10s for Stefan Hansen, but Rio Wild needing only 8 to win it.
Yep.
And there it is.
Another bronze medal.
Third medal of the day for the Honey Badger Rio Wild of the United States. The big guy out of Pocatello, Idaho, shooting a tremendous match here today. A perfect score is 150. He shoots a 149. And we almost witnessed perfection here today, but close enough for Rio Wild.
And he'll be happy with that, walking away. He was a little disappointed to not be in the gold match, but to win convincingly, he'll be happy.
And win by 3 over somebody as strong as Stefan Hansen, who put up 146 points. And, you know, on a lot of days, a lot of matches, that would be enough to win. Not against Rio Wild.
Oh, really?
Look at that target. The 10 ring looks like Swiss cheese. He just gashed that target throughout the entire match. And Martin Damsbo has to get him his arrows back. You gotta love Martin Damsbo.
Oh yeah, he's a great competitor.
Great sportsman.
Yeah.
And if he ever gets tired of shooting, he's a good analyst too. I have enjoyed everybody that has worked with us this weekend. Taylor Worth yesterday and Crispin Duenas, want to thank them for their work as expert analysts during the recurve competition. Crystal Gauvin today, along with Martin Damsbo this morning, making my job a whole lot easier here in Medellin, where we are approaching our final match of the day and of the weekend. Final match of the week, for that matter. As we get ready for the men's gold medal match. And some interesting backstories to this match as well. It'll feature a gentleman who's been competing 10 years internationally and is just making his very first appearance in a gold medal match. The men's gold medal match. And here he is, Roberto Hernandez from El Salvador, competing 10 years on the international scene, and this is the first time he's been able to stride out there and step up to the shooting line in a gold medal match.
Yeah, it's great to see. He doesn't get a lot of support from his federation and has self-funded himself a lot over the years, and so it's great to see him finally make it here.
Talk about pay to play.
Yes.
He puts it on the line. Roberto Hernandez, 26 years of age, had a 6-point win in the 1/8 round, beat Martin Damsbo in a tiebreaker, and then beat Stefan Hansen by 1. I'd say he earned this spot.
Definitely. It's definitely not handed to him. He had to work his way all the way through that bracket.
And here comes Sebastien Peynaud, the #1 seed from France, who got married this summer and is back at it now on the World Cup Tour. And we will see Sebastien Peynaud on the World Cup Finals in Mexico City next month, and we are watching him here in the gold medal match. Sebastien Peynaud, a 1-point winner in the 1/8 round, defeated Bridger Deaton by 5 in the quarterfinals, and then beat Rio Wild by 1 in the semifinals, 147 to 146. He earned it too.
Definitely. No doubt about that. And that's...
As it should be.
Yeah. And he just got back from his honeymoon, so...
Oh, Crystal, he's still on his honeymoon. You're still on your honeymoon, right?
7 years later, sure.
7 years later? Sure, sure. I know I am. It's been only 36 years. Sometimes it pays to be politically correct. So El Salvador and France featured in this men's gold medal match. Sebastien Peynaud, who won stage 1 in Shanghai back at the start of the outdoor season, beating Mike Schlosser in a shoot-off, both shooting 10s, but Sebastien had a better 10. And how about that 10 for Roberto Hernandez?
And I think for finals points, it determines his Sebastien. If he wins this, will jump ahead of Rio. If he loses, he'll stay tied or one point below him. So
both gentlemen shooting 10s to start off the match. Establish the benchmark. And when veers left just a little bit. Peynaud pounds one into the 10 ring. So good response. And Peynaud maintains the 1-point lead that he took after that second shot. Sebastien Peynaud, the nicest gentleman on the World Cup circuit. We first saw him start to emerge back in 2014 at the Indoor World Cup Championships. Faced Braden Gelantine in the gold medal match, the World Cup final in Las Vegas. And he was on a roll there, defeated 2 of the Dutchmen, Ruben Blyendal and Mike Schlosser, in shoot-offs before beating Levi Morgan of the United States. And since then, he's really been shooting well. Been a factor.
Yeah, he's had a great 2 seasons.
So there's your score, 30-29 in favor of the Frenchman Sebastien Peynaud. Up against Roberto Hernandez, who a year ago here in Medellin lost to Rio Wild by 3 points in the quarterfinals. This year finds himself in the gold medal match. You have a favorite tint for your sunglasses? Depends on the
lighting.
the conditions.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. I have one for cloudy, overcast.
That's
and
the orange.
it's a golf lens, so it's kind of a pinkish bluish. Then I have another for normal sun, and then I have my Arizona sun, I call it. It's for the full blown.
Scorched earth.
Yes.
Hernandez. Ranked 25th in the world and averaging 9.7 points per arrow. Payno averaging 9.6 points per arrow. And falters just a little bit. We're tied.
Yeah, I'm always amazed that more archers don't wear sunglasses. I know in the last year we've seen a huge increase, but I came from mountain biking and had different lens tints for different conditions, and was amazed that people would shoot outside every day without sunglasses.
Mountain climbing next for you?
No, it's the coming down. My knees wouldn't like that.
Payno hits pay dirt. We're tied at 49. Hernandez hits the jackpot.
All three in the X. Saw the bow arm there. Trying to save it, but it didn't work.
What happens in that situation right there? He's trying to save it. What went wrong?
A lot of times the shot just goes off when your pin isn't in the middle.
On the back tension?
Yeah, I mean, it can happen. It can happen with any release depending on how you shoot it. But you hear a lot of people say, yeah, it broke right there, and that's what they mean.
So Sebastian trying to collect himself right now. Payno trying to win his second gold medal of this season. As we mentioned, he won in Shanghai, beating Mike Schlosser. In Antalya, it was Kim Jong-ho of Korea beating Mike Schlosser. Been a tough season for Mike outdoors. He's shot well, just hasn't gotten a lot of breaks. And then in Wrocław, it was Abhishek Verma of India defeating Ismail Ebadi from Iran. Here we have a Frenchman and the gentleman from El Salvador going head to head, and it's a 1 point difference between the two. Sebastian Payno led 30-29 after the opening end. But Hernandez picked up 2 points and takes the 1 point advantage, 59-58. So Seb goes first, and you can see him try to whip it back in.
And now he's frustrated.
Trying to make the adjustments.
And same thing from him, you saw.
So Payno catches a bit of a break right there, as Hernandez could have gone up by 3, and he knows it.
Yeah, and we see the wind is in that direction, so it might be pushing on their bow arm a little.
Payno, 28 years old, 5th in the world standings. And Hernandez running into some trouble here in the third end. We're tied at 77.
He held a long time on that. He won't be happy.
Strong, powerful Roberto
Still
Hernandez.
right there.
And again, we've got a match where it's going to be tough for one or the other to break away.
They both had an opportunity and neither has taken advantage.
So it's tied at 86 after 3 ends. Final match of the day, of the weekend, of the week here in Medellin, Colombia. Again, want to thank the local organizing committee, doing a tremendous job. Carolina leading the troops. And what a pleasure it is to come down here to Colombia, one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
And the park here in the finals venue. Very neat. Very large iguanas out walking around. You can practically touch them.
You don't see that every day in Connecticut?
No, definitely not. You have to be out in the morning, though, we found. If you go in the afternoon, they're all up in the trees.
Oh, sure. They know where to head when it gets hot.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roberto Hernandez will shoot first on target number 1 when he loses.
C'est bon, ils vont en ramener. Ça lui démarre.
86-86. Roberto Hernandez from El Salvador facing Sébastien Peynaud of France.
So they've both dropped more points in this match than they probably did in any of their matches leading up to this.
Hernandez was perfect in the second end, then offers up 3 straight 9s in the third end. Peynaud opened up with 3 straight 10s, but since then has scored 28 points in each of the next 2 ends. So 6 arrows left to shoot.
Allez Seb, on y va sur chacune.
With the sun setting in the west, looking into that sun, and targets that are now in the shade.
So just like the women, I think this is going to be the end that determines it.
Great start for Hernandez. The bronze medalist in Cali at the 2013 World Games.
Ouais, ça gratte, c'est bon. Nickel.
Just did catch the line.
Allez.
Those clicks of the sight he gave it saved him on that one.
Hernandez not backing down.
C'est solide.
And Peynaud puts it in the middle again. And a quick shot. One I'm sure he probably wishes he'd held a little bit longer. Can Peynaud take advantage? No.
C'est comme ça qu'il fallait la tirer, c'est bon. Tu lui as mis la presse, il a lâché.
Not what you expected to see in the men's compound gold medal match, that's for sure.
But it's a nail biter. Both putting up 29 points here in the fourth end and remaining tied at 115. Going to go right down to the wire. And who knows, might go to a shootout. Not sure they're talking strategy. I think they're talking about the wind, which is gusting a little bit now. So a test of their physical skills and also a test of their nerves, I would think, Crystal.
Definitely.
But again, you love this situation.
Yes.
You like being in this situation.
Yep. And the windier, the better.
The windier, the better. And let's see. Let's put all the pressure I can on her. But that's what it takes. No, that is what it takes.
I live where it's windy all the time. I don't shoot in calm conditions, and so I definitely struggle with having to be perfect, aiming in the middle every single arrow.
Every single time.
Allez, Seb.
Roberto Hernandez hoping to get some help from high above. Could be the 3 biggest shots of his career right here.
He nailed that
Not exactly rose-colored glasses, but that shot looked pretty good through those lenses.
one. And he's got a hole right there, so he's hit that same spot quite a few times.
Pressure's on Peynaud.
Ouais, Seb, nickel.
He responds.
C'est bien, Seb.
Ooh.
Hernandez knew it as
And
soon as he
that's-
released.
That's the match right there.
An opportunity, golden opportunity for Peynaud. His second shot of the final end, and yes, he takes advantage and moves ahead by 2.
Yeah, Roberto's going to be remembering that arrow for a long time, unfortunately.
Peynaud needing 9 to win and take the gold medal. It would be his second of the season, and he's got it. Sebastian Peinot wraps it up, and after struggling in the earlier ends, comes back strong, takes advantage of the miscue by Roberto Hernandez, and is able to wrap up the gold medal, his second of the season. And that smile says it all right there.
Très bien. Good job.
Sebastian Peinot able to exhale right now. Took advantage of the 8 by Roberto Hernandez on the second to last shot of the match. A hard-fought, closely contested match that went right down to the final 2 shots. And in the end, it's Sebastian Peinot who comes away with a 145 to 143 victory. Great competition, great matches. The individual matches here this afternoon, all of them close.
Yeah.
All of them well played. Some critical moments and some great emotion that we've seen on the part of these archers. Sebastian Peinot, job well done, and hats off to Roberto Hernandez. I'm sure after 10 years of waiting to get to this point, that match probably went by, in his mind, in the blink of an eye.
Oh, definitely. Hopefully for him, this won't be the last finals match, and he'll be right back up there again.
A lot of smiles here in Medellin, Colombia. As we wrap up the World Cup regular season in September here in South America, where we have competed in warm conditions, but great conditions. A little bit of wind, no rain, enthusiastic crowds, great support, and just a wonderful, wonderful weekend, which started yesterday with the recurve competitors, the recurve archers, shooting on Saturday instead of Sunday so that they could get over to Rio for the test event, which starts tomorrow. Just a recap for you on recurve Saturday, United States, as Crystal alluded to earlier, scored a tremendous come-from-behind win in the women's team bronze medal match. Fell behind 4-0, but then came back, forced the shoot-off, and Ariel Gibelaro, with a 10 to start off that.
Yeah, great shot.
That shoot-off, yeah, that was big.
Yes.
USA winning that shoot-off 28-25 to win the bronze medal. Then in the women's team gold medal match in recurve competition, it was Chinese Taipei beating Korea 6-2. Lei Chen-ying with a 10 on the final shot to secure the victory for Chinese Taipei and get the gold medal. In the men's team bronze medal match, China defeated Colombia 5-1, and in the gold medal match, it was Korea over the United States 6-0. All that in the team recurve competition on Saturday. Then in the mixed team competition, Korea got the gold, China the silver, Japan the bronze. In women's competition, Hong Soo-nam surprised Lee Tuk-young, winning the gold medal in the women's individual match, and Lei Chen-ying came up with a big win over Ten Ya-ting 6-4, a team or a victory that had implications for the United States, and of course Katuna Lorig, who would have gone to the World Cup finals had Lei Chen-ying not won her match. Then in the men's competition, Jing Yu of China upsetting Im Dong-hyun 7-3 for the gold medal. Im Dong-hyun gets the silver, and Rick van der Ven went home with the bronze medal. So now we get set for the presentation of the medals here in Medellin for the mixed teams who came away victorious today. And it was the United States who got the afternoon session started with a strong performance against India. Rio Wild and Lexi Keller. Lexi, her second medal of the day. Rio Wild, his second of the medal of the day at that point as well. Those two worked well together.
Yes, they did.
Rio Wild.
Definitely some cool medals here. We were looking at them. They did a nice job with them.
Where have you got yours, by the way?
This year I got in Poland and in China.
No, where do you have them hanging at home?
I have a medal rack in my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
The silver medalists from Slovenia, Toya Chernay and Dejan Sitar. They were locked in a tight battle with Slovenia, one of the best matches we've seen today. It was tied at 39 after the first end, tied at 77 after the second end. Italy moved ahead 96-95, only to have Slovenia come back and tie it at 114, heading to the fourth end, where Italy was able to pull away and win by 1. So the silver medal goes to Slovenia, Toya Chernay and Dejan Sitar. And your gold medalists from Italy, Viviana Spano and Federico Pagnoni. So Italy overcoming stomach virus this week that seemed to go through the team, and they recovered in time and put on a great performance in the mixed team gold medal match, winning by 153-152. Pagnoni putting the finishing touches on it with a 10 on his last shot. All the color and the pageantry here in Medellin, Colombia. As we now salute the team from Italy.
Please rise for the national anthem of Italy.
The Italian national anthem in honor of Italy's victory in the mixed team gold medal match. Federico Pagnoni and Viviana Spano securing that gold medal for Italy. Slovenia the silver, and the USA takes home the bronze. Rio Wild's going to get a workout here. We'll see him back on the podium in just a moment. And while they reset, gives us a chance to take a look at the field for Mexico City, which includes Crystal Gauvin. Crystal will be there along with Andrea Marcos, Stephanie Sarai Salinas, Linda Ochoa, Natalia Avdieva, and Sarah Lopez. That's a great field.
Yes, yeah, we have a lot of strong shooters that didn't even get in this year. I think it's one of the toughest fields we've seen. And unfortunately, my first match is going to be against my good friend Linda. We always seem to match up against each other at tournaments. So,
how do you go back and prepare? How do you spend the next month getting ready now for this?
well, I actually have our field nationals to shoot in between now and then. So my focus is going to turn to that, which actually, in a way, I think is a good thing to take away from the 50 meters and do something a little different. And then it'll just be game time after that.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you can also go back to work, too, and that'll take your mind off of things a little bit, right?
Yeah.
There is that, right?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, we've got to go back to reality after
Yeah.
this is over. It's been great to be down here in Colombia.
Yeah. Always tough with the Wi-Fi, but...
Getting set for the presentation of the medals to the women who were victorious here today in great matches that had a lot of emotion. And there may not have been a more emotional match than the women's bronze medal match, featuring Ana Cristina Juarez of Mexico and this woman, Maria Brioso of Argentina, who had been competing for about 18 years, at least shooting in the sport for 18 years. Started competing internationally in 2012, finally gets to a medal match and cashes in that medal match, defeating Ana Cristina Juarez 142 to 139 to claim the bronze medal. The gold medal match, a great one as well. Hard fought, closely contested. Paige Pierce of the United States putting up a real battle. Fell behind by 1 after the opening end, was down by 2 after 6 arrows, still down by 2 after 9 arrows, got back within 1 in the 4th end, but Sarah Lopez able to pull away and secure the 3-point victory. So Paige Pierce will take the check and the silver medal back to the United States. Go back home to California.
Get ready for her wedding.
So a nice wedding gift.
Yeah, that definitely helps when you just bought a house.
Uh-huh. Make a mortgage payment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope, although in California.
Yeah.
Sarah Lopez. Basking in the moment, in the glow of this moment, here in her home nation. The gold medalist, who was so strong and was able to hold off Paige Pierce and win the gold medal in front of her fans, in front of her family. And a great moment for her and the nation of Colombia. Absolute joy and exhilaration for Sarah Lopez. Winning here in Colombia. She'd come close before, but finally gets it done here in 2015 and invites Paige Pierce as well as Maria Brioso to join her atop the victory podium for one last picture You almost hate to leave the field, don't you?
Yeah.
Can we just stay out here and shoot some more? Pictures if nothing else.
Yeah.
You don't want the moment to end.
No. She'll be remembering this for a while.
And obviously will be a big, big factor heading to the World Cup finals in Mexico City in just a little over a month from now. Taking a look at the field for the men in Mexico City, it will include Mike Schlosser, who's had some really tough breaks this summer, but did pile up a lot of World Cup points, 54 to be exact. Sebastian Peinot has surpassed him now with this win here today. He picks up 25 points with that win. So Sebastian, let's see if I do the math correctly, about 72 points, World Cup points.
That's impressive.
Yeah, those 2 victories that he scored 50 points just right there. Kind of sandwiched his season with the win at stage 1 and this win here at stage 4. Rio Wild picking up more World Cup points today. He'll be there along with Martin Damsbo, Abhishek Verma of India, Dominique Genet of France, and Demir Elmagachla from Turkey. So a strong field for the men as well.
With Steve from the U.S. just missing out.
Just
when
barely.
you plug Mexico into that 8th spot.
Bridger Deaton was in the picture as well. But Steve Anderson just did miss out. Although I've got a feeling there's a World Cup final in Steve's future too.
Mm-hmm.
And if Linda keeps going, he's got to get there
Yeah.
too. It was nice to see the two of them get to be reunited this morning at the practice range. They're still on their honeymoon too.
Yeah. I joke with them that they get to see each other only on archery trips, and I only get to see my husband at home, and so we're both living half lives with our significant others.
And now the hardware that goes to the men who made it to the medal matches and came away with medals. Rio Wild, the United States, his 3rd medal of the day. A gold this morning in men's team competition, and then 2 bronze medals this afternoon in mixed team and then in the men's bronze medal match. Rio almost perfect. Just probably a millimeter away from being perfect.
Yep. And that
Outscored Stefan Hansen 149 to 146.
And that gives the U.S. 3 bronze medals in the men's compound this year, the last 3 World Cups. It was Rio and then Steve and then Rio again.
So Rio, the bronze medalist, and then in the men's gold medal match, this gentleman, Roberto Hernandez from El Salvador. Finally getting the payoff after competing for 10 years internationally, finally getting to the gold medal match, and came very close to winning a gold medal. Had it not been for that 8 on his second to last shot, who knows?
Yes.
But a big smile on his face nonetheless, as he accepts his silver medal and knows he was up against a very, very tough competitor, great archer in his own right.
Someone who's been there a lot he had to face, unfortunately.
Sebastian Peinot of France, his 2nd win of the year. Won in Shanghai at stage 1, beating Mike Schlosser, and comes out here, faces Roberto Hernandez in a match that could have gone either way. Heading down the stretch. But it was Sebastian Peinot who was able to take advantage after that 8 by Roberto Hernandez. Shot at 10, finished up strong, and wins it 145 to 143. So Sebastian Peinot is your gold medalist here at stage 4, the 2015 Archery World Cup Tour. Marseillais in honor of Sébastien Peinot's victory for France. The gold medal going to Seb. The silver to Roberto Hernandez, and Rio Wild the bronze medal. Great day for Rio Wild. 3 medals on the day here in Colombia. 3 happy men right there. And 2 of those 3 heading to Mexico City next month. They'll see each other again soon at the World Cup Finals. Carl Arky along with Crystal Gauvin as we wrap up our coverage here on Archery TV. In the past, you've competed a lot on the indoor circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Going to do it again this year?
Actually, no. After 2 years of falling just short in the finals, silver medal 2 years in a row, with my work schedule and financially, I just can't pull it off another year.
And it's been a long outdoor season, too.
It has.
It really has.
And with making the finals, you're not done till the last week in October, and Morocco's in November. That doesn't give you much time to switch over to indoor.
I would think, too, that at some certain point, everybody needs a break.
Yes.
Everybody needs a break.
Yep.
Not as though you won't be training, but the traveling, the competing.
Need to catch up at work.
Yeah, catch up at work and get to know your husband again, too.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea. One last look at beautiful Medellin, Colombia from El Parque Norte. If you ever have the chance to come down here, we really do recommend that you do. It is a wonderful place to come and visit. More tourists are coming to Colombia and Medellin. I'll remember my trip on the Metro cable up above the barrios up into a beautiful nature park high up in the mountains up there, and it was just absolutely outstanding. Just beautiful country and just wonderful people, warm people, great food. And if you're coming from the United States, by the way, you get a real break on the dollar.
Oh, definitely. The exchange rate compared to last year, even talking to the people who were here for the World Cup, said it's a lot better, and we've been enjoying that.
It's amazing. Took the family out last night for dinner, the 3 of us. A couple of steak dinners, a seafood dinner, I think some appetizers, a couple of beverages, some dessert. I think it came to $40, and that included the tip, U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I shudder to think what that tab would have been at home. But more than that, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to come. And right now we've got the Longines Prize for Precision being presented. And at this stage, Rio Wild shot more 10s than any other man.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Rio came in here with 302 X's, or 10s, I should say, during the course of this outdoor season. And he did trail Mike Schlosser.
But I think he put a lot of gains on Mike this week shooting. I think he ended up with 3 extra matches, so that adds up.
Yeah, it does. Gives him a lot more opportunity to try to catch him in that season-long race for the Longines Prize for Precision.
And 14 just in the bronze medal match.
So we'll have to see what the totals are after it's all said and done and the smoke is cleared. But congratulations to Rio. Tremendous haul for the man from Pocatello. He not only gets the 3 medals, goes home also with the Longines Prize for Precision. Beautiful watch from Longines.
He has a couple of those at home.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, he's going to decide. He's got one for Monday. He's got one for Tuesday. Another one for Wednesday. At some point, I got a feeling Logan's going to say, hey, what about me?
And his wife.
Yeah, and
then
his wife.
His daughters
Sherry,
are going to start.
sure. Absolutely. They're all going to be looking for something. Actually, they're just going to be glad to see Dad come back home.
I think so.
Come back home and do a lot of practicing and getting ready for Mexico City.
Yep.
So, a tremendous weekend. Your thoughts on the whole week here in Medellin, Colombia, as you leave now?
I thought it was a well-run tournament. The people here were very friendly. My only complaint in a lot of the archers, the transportation had some issues, and hopefully they can get that fixed for next year.
I hope so too. It's a wonderful place, and hopefully we can come back next year, take in some more of the sights and the sound and the scenery here in Medellin, Colombia, where today, starting this morning in the women's team competition, it was Colombia winning the gold, Italy the silver, and the USA taking the bronze. In the men's team, it was the USA coming out on top. Italy got silver, and India the bronze medal. In mixed team competition, Italy comes away with the gold, Slovenia the silver, and the USA the bronze medal. And then this afternoon, in the individual matches, we saw Maria Briozzo of Argentina win the bronze medal, Sarah Lopez take the gold, and Paige Pierce win the silver medal. And as we just saw, Roberto Hernandez settles for silver, Sebastian Peinot the gold, and Rio Wild the bronze medal to complete the day. So that's going to do it from here in Medellin, Colombia. Our thanks to Fila, Kia, Sport Toto, Longines, and Turkish Airlines for their support of World Cup archery. Congratulations to all who came, all who medaled. It's been another outstanding outdoor season, which will culminate next month in Mexico City with the World Cup finals. And as always, we'll have live coverage for you on Archery TV. Till then, for Crystal Gauvin, I'm Carl Arky saying thanks for your time this time. Till next time, so long from Medellin, Colombia.
Dead center for Rio, the great sportsman in archery. 20-year-old Bridger Deaton wins the gold medal. Julian de Loche. Rick van der Ven of the Netherlands is your gold medalist and able to